Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2020 album review. And today we're going to be looking into an album that's kind of a little bit different for me. It's usually something I would not listen to, but this album is surprisingly really catchy and I really like it. And as you can see below the title, today we're going to be talking about the new album from Lindsay Schoolcraft entitled Worlds Away, which was released today through Cyber Proxy Records, which is actually a little local, small, independent label. Now, for those of you who don't know who Lindsay Schoolcraft is, well, people probably best known her as the former keyboard player for the band Cradle of Filth. And Lindsay's a great friend of mine, and she's also a good solo artist. In fact, she's been doing the solo thing for over a decade. I've heard of her solo stuff as well, even going back to like Rushing from the Sky ZP, which came out in 2012, which that was really great. And then her debut full-length album, which came out last year, which was called Martyr, which that album was really good. And this album, World Away, is Away, compared to Martyr, Martyr was kind of more just like straight up just heavy metal rock album. This album is actually a ambient kind of like harp album, and it's a really surprisingly good. It's not really a metal album per se, but it definitely has like that darker tone to it, which has makes it sound really great. And vocally, I think Lindsay, as always, compared to like even her old bands and old stuff, like she really almost surprisingly has that same voice. It's like I'm surprised. Like she has a really great range and her voice is really beautiful and she's a really great talented. She can sing her ass off. And yeah, just I'm getting way sidetracked. So let's just dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is the title track, Worlds Away, which actually is the first song released from this album, is actually the first video. And as I mentioned before, while this isn't a metal album at all, there is a darker tone to this, which makes it sound very unique. And Lindsay's voice really just sounds beautiful and amazing here. And I think it's a great song to pick as like the first like video and first little taste of Lindsay's new music. Next song on the album is called Savior. Now this was originally from Martyr, and something else I forgot to also mention is some of these songs are actually like different different versions from Martyr and some of her older stuff. But yeah, Savior was originally from last year's Martyr, and while the original is just so powerful, I was just wondering how this version would match the power of the original. While this is a completely different version, I'm just really amazed. Like the arrangement of this song is just so epic. And then we move on to Darkness Falls. Now this was originally on Lindsay's Rushing Through the Sky EP, and compared to the original, it's pretty much the almost the exact same song, except for this version, I feel like it's more polished, and the addition to the strings here makes it really stand out. Then we go on to Fading Star. Now, I believe this was a standalone single. This was originally released back in 2014, and the original had Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth doing guest vocals on that song. But this version, I feel like Lindsay does a great job handling everything on the vocal department, and this one here feels a little bit more lighter than the original. Next song is Stranger, and this song has a pretty much a dark kind of like atmosphere, and I love sort of like the percussion and the strings sort of like backing Lindsay's harp playing. Where I Fall, which I feel like this song is nearly breathtaking on the vocal department, and sort of has a very floaty atmosphere, and sort of like gloomy strings give Lindsay enough backing, which makes the track almost kind of like a ballad, which sort of like balances between darkness with like the light peeking through. Then we move on to Dance of the Strings. Now, this was the last song, I believe, made for this album, and this song was actually goes back to even like a decade ago, which I feel like lyrically it deals with like toxic manipulation and sort of like the dark strings in this song. Song just feel like it's controlling the victim, from the narrator's point. It's a really great song. Then we move on to a Dangerous Game. Now the original on Martyr is just really just heavy, just like and rocking and stuff. While I feel like this version is very calm and uplifting. Almost feels like it's like in a parallel universe where it's kind of opposite of each other. Really interesting song. Your Mind. Now, originally, musically, this was played on a piano, and I love how Lindsay was able to play what was originally on a piano to a harp. She always just keeps harping away. But I think Your Mind is a really great song. Then we move on to Masquerade. Now, this was originally from the Rushing Through the Sky EP, and this version is kind of different. The original is more upbeat, and I feel like the original almost feels like something from like a Tim Burton movie or something. Well, and I feel like this version is more of a soothing feel to it. And then we get to Warn Me. Now, this was a good way to end the album, or is it? And this song has a kind of a dark vibe to it. And the reason I say is it the end, but because really, if you had donated to Lindsay's Indiegogo for this album and she had actually had hit the goal, which is awesome for her, I'm happy she did, you actually get 3 bonus tracks. And these 3 are actually piano versions of three other songs that she had done. I think it was live in a studio, but it actually feels like she kind of like mic'd everything up, so it almost feels like a studio recording, but it just feels a lot more raw sounding. And then we go to the 3 songs being Breakable, Emily, and Into the Night. Now, Breakable, which I believe I have never heard from any of Lindsay's albums before, and it's a very soothing song. I enjoy it a lot. And then we get to Emily. Now, this is the oldest song from here, and this was from Lindsay's old band called Mary and the Black Lamb, which I have heard her one album as, and it still has really dark vibes as it is on the original. And Into the Night, which almost is like the original All Martyr, except it's just only piano and vocals here. Now, overall, Worlds Away by Lindsay Schoolcraft, really great album. And I'm not just saying that because she's my friend and I'm supporting her. I've liked her for a long time, and she's really talented at what she does. So yeah, that's my review of Worlds Away by Lindsay Schoolcraft, guys. For ideas, sound, the score, I'm going to give this probably a 9 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of the album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the album, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.